It is such a headache to do. We're on 31. Ah. Welcome to Cold Hard Trash, CRT episode 31. I'm your host, Trashcan Jones.
And I'm Breeg, your fellow host.
So, coming in today, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this in the podcast before, but you're aware of this. Realty? The business that's right, yeah. It's right before Halstead. It's a Looney Tunes trap, right? It's literally just says realty. Like, if you go there and open the door, the building just falls down as a one cardboard facade. Like, that has to. There's nothing else. Like, it's just called realty. Like, what's your slogan? It's really real? Like, what?
I mean,
it just
like,
is that your last
maybe
name?
There was a period of time where there's a lot of fake realty. You know, they'd come and they'd show you the house, and then they'd sell it to you, and then you get there and it's gone.
The house is just gone. The house was the cardboard facade.
Or maybe the place was opened up by Johnny Real.
That's if it's a last name, then I guess okay, but weird. You know, like it's why is like your whole thing like, don't worry, we're real? Like, was fake realty really that much of a thing where like you needed to set yourself apart on the building? It literally just says realty. And I've never seen anybody come in or out of there. As far as I know, only cardboard people exist in there.
Fair enough. Yeah. Honestly, it doesn't even faze me anymore. I just drive by it sometimes.
I drove by it today, and I was just like, oh, I needed to snap a picture. Because it's the same thing. Like, I don't know how many times I've driven by it and just kind of chuckled. It's ridiculous, though. It is just straight up a Looney Tunes trap. Like, Roadrunner built that to be like, oh, yeah, just in case you need a house, Mr. Coyote. And he goes in there, and it's just a TNT after all the cardboard falls down.
That's good. We should open up fake realty.
Right next door. Fake realty. And it's not a realty place. I mean, it says, oh, hello, little girl. Captain's cameo yet again.
Welcome back.
Little tiny thing. Oh, and she's purring too.
For the camera.
Very cute. Still purring, just being held that way. It's like,
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the reason that she doesn't like being handled that much is, one, she's a cat.
Right, cats usually don't like.
And two, the fact that I used to have to give her those flea baths.
Oh, yeah?
Like, she likes her pets and stuff like that, but it's mainly, lifting her up can get a little uncomfortable for her.
So I don't know why movie theaters, have I talked about this before, why movie theaters don't just do what video game companies are doing? Like, there's a new trend of like the Capcom people are releasing the new Resident Evil's just remade. They had like just a whole bunch of different games. Like, hey, we're going to take this, like Backyard Baseball is another one. These old games, not change anything. Make sure you're able to play them stably. And then give us money, please.
In both cases, that's called a remaster, and they do that.
I was going to say, it's not even a full, like, a remaster for Backyard Baseball. It's literally just like an update. But for the Resident Evil, like, and Mafia 1 is another one that I thought of. It's like a full remaster. They don't change the story or anything. They just update the graphics. They make the gameplay a little more future proofed to where it's a little more modern, and that's it. And I don't know why movie theaters don't do that same thing. Like,
they do.
But that's not like a usual thing. Like, it's sometimes you'll find like, oh, like a cult classic movie like Pulp Fiction will have a viewing night, or like The Room when it's got its thing will have a viewing night. But it's not like a usual thing where like if they just had The Naked Gun in theaters like one weekend and they were gonna next weekend the second weekend after that the third, I'd make a trip to the movies 3 weekends in a row. If they just had like a selection of older movies, not like always the cult classic ones, but if they just played other things, I don't know. I feel like they would have a lot more business.
I really do think they already do this.
They do it, but I just don't think they do it enough.
Like, yeah. Also, in terms of remastering for movies, a lot of them end up kind of going, like, you buy it on a DVD or something like that. And the big reason that these things work isn't like, any type of upscaling technology or something like that. It's that especially if something's on like original film, right? Like that doesn't have resolution in a digital sense.
Right. It's just infinite resolution, essentially.
And so as you're converting, you convert it to like the resolution of the screen that you're eventually going to be playing it on, right? And then so now we got higher definition screens, and then you just convert it again into that. So there's a remaster. But like places that do like older movies, like I think you only really hear about it when it's The Room or something that
That's true.
Like,
I guess they might, and
like,
I just
has a big following.
I'm not looking out for it. That's a true statement. So maybe that's just that I'm not seeing when they are doing it. I'd like for them to do it more like if they just did a bunch of different movies from the 90s, 2000s, like did a Jackie Chan marathon a couple different weekends. And obviously they can't do it like consistently, which is why I'm saying like just for a weekend, open up for a movie because maybe you can, if you have people like, build hype for it, you're not going to take too much loss. I don't know.
There is a Fandango page to purchase tickets to the Naked Gun viewing at showtimes and showtimes at theaters near you, and then it says no tickets.
Yeah.
But the webpage exists.
No tickets available.
Naked Gun files from police squad at an AMC near you. Weird Al's in it.
In the Naked Gun? Yeah, remember he's like, you get the press conference, and they're like, no, they're not here for you, Frank. They're here for Weird Al Yankovic, who's on the plane.
Right.
And he just comes off afterwards like, oh, hey.
As him. Completely forgot about that. They had him for a throwaway joke.
Yeah, no. Literally just comes out with, like, flowers in his hand, and then he's just like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Now I'm kind of irritated that they have these, like, fucking pages and stuff. But they just don't have any tickets. I guess you could set up an alert
They got
for
you
that
clicked.
specific ticket. Yeah. Let me click, but I'm angry, and now I think negatively of every single advertiser. But yeah, there's also, like, you could probably find things for, like, older movies. I just don't think, like, they're having an easy time filling theater seats in the first place.
True,
And,
yeah.
like, if you're going to go with something older, you're probably going to get a smaller subsection of people. Like, you're going to convince some people that aren't going to the movies to come out, right?
Right.
But, like,
Unless
your
you do,
regular
like,
movie goers are maybe not as likely unless they have some type of interest or nostalgia for that.
See, that's the
older
thing.
work.
That's the thing that I was kind of trying to get at. If they can try and make it so that going to the movies and just seeing what's there is sort of like a viable thing to do, because I feel like that would get more people to the movie theaters if they just had like probably lower prices on their cafeteria stuff of food that they heat up and serve you, so people could just come there, hang out, play at the arcade, and then let's see what's on this weekend. And just make it more of a spot, because I feel like they're just min-maxing on like the movie experience, and it's like I feel like the movie theater experience is more what you need to focus on.
Yeah. I'm also like, I'm a fan of those recliners that they put in
the
but
Lazy
at the same
Boys.
time, like, I feel like that kind of drives up ticket prices in a way that like makes it harder to just have a cheap movie.
Sure, but I feel like it's one of those things where it should only drive up ticket prices for a little while, right? And how business works is eventually like the profit margin evens out, and then you don't need to make the money back
And
on
then
those
lower
anymore.
prices? Are you kidding me?
Exactly, that's
Are
the
they
thing.
gonna
Like,
do that?
and that's how you get people back into seats. I mean, shit, you just say like, hey, movie tickets are going to be $10 again, and also you're going to be able to buy a $3 popcorn, so a $20 bill can get you through to the movies. Like, you're not going to have to spend a $40 just for one person.
I also feel like what you're talking about would, like, you're kind of thinking about positioning a movie theater near like an existing hangout spot, then, right? Like where people are going to be and they want to consider like going to a movie.
No, I mean, movie theaters themselves can have like, before you get your tickets checked and everything, just like the arcade that's out there and the little like sometimes a bar area and whatnot. I've seen it. What are that? The Marcus theaters. So like it's just it can be a spot like you just go, like if you like show up an hour before your movie, or if you just want to hang out there if you're a young kid. And then, hey, let's go and see what movie's on.
Yeah.
We'll decide when we get here.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole theater business has been awry since COVID.
Yeah.
You know.
I took a big dip, and I think they're still trying to recoup from that, probably. They're still trying to, like, not willing to, take any back steps.
Yeah. I still remember my old theater that I really liked in my hometown. It was called The Dunes.
Ooh, nice.
It was connected to a card shop.
Interesting.
It had 3 theaters. One on the left, one on the right, one in the middle.
Nice. Hell yeah.
And we go there, and it was pretty cheap. Sticky floors, classic
Hell yeah.
type thing. Then it got torn down for water damage. So,
Hey.
rip and pip. Then we got to go all the way to fucking Gurney.
Ooh.
To see a movie. But that Marcus Cinema does have $5 Tuesdays or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Marcus Cinema does do that. I know. They have cheap days. But it's like a Tuesday. Who's going to see a movie on a Tuesday? Do $5 Fridays, man.
I mean, well, Friday is the day that you're expecting people to go to see movies anyways, right?
Exactly.
You expect to have a full theater, so why would you lower the price?
Well, you min-max that, so then it's like people are literally, getting in line for trying to get a ticket for Thursday now because they know Friday's going to be a fire sale, It's you min-max on those days. It's like, oh, shit. We want to go on Friday.
How it works. If the theater's going to be full on Friday, right, if you're expecting to sell out almost every seat or at least plenty of them, you don't need to necessarily drive down the price because then you're losing money.
True,
right?
But you're losing money on that day, but you could potentially be getting more money on other days because if it just so happens that people were like, normally planning to go see a movie on Friday, they're like, let's just go on Saturday instead. So now instead of maybe a full day on Friday and a third full day Thursday, a third full day Saturday, you get a full day Friday, a full day Saturday.
Well, why would you choose to go on a Saturday if it's $5 on Friday?
Because Friday's going to be jam-packed. You're not able to get a ticket on Friday. Sold out. That's what I'm saying. It just drives people to come more because they want to go, but if it's sold out, you sell it out quicker. You drive demand up.
I think the Tuesday makes a lot more sense.
I don't know. I feel like
you're trying to get in people on a day where they're less likely to go, and therefore it's still worth keeping it open.
Yeah, I understand the logic to that. I just think it could potentially work the other way too.
There's a place by me that they're only it's a ramen place, and they're closed on Tuesdays. They're open every other day of the week.
It's just the lowest business days. They're like, man, why bother?
Yeah, I presume so. And now it's definitely their lowest business day.
Yeah, because
they're closed.
Yeah, just straight to zero. Probably did the math of like, if this day was 0, it probably wouldn't affect us too much. All right, screw it. Little girl. Very interested in podcasting. Aww.
What do you have to say?
Little girl.
Speak it. Tell us. Come on. I can never really get her to meow for no reason.
Yeah, she's not a very vocal cat.
Well, if she's in a meowing mood, I can talk to her, and then I'll get one meow back, and it's like a nice little back and forth. But if she's not already, then there's no convincing her.
Right. Do you know the band Chicago?
Yes. Originally Chicago Transit Authority.
Really?
Yes.
Pretty funny. I've just read so many different anecdotes of people. I don't remember the exact celebrity list, but I'm pretty sure it was Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, who was another one? Michael Jackson, all who saw these people perform and were like, no, yeah, in our opinion, they're the best band in the world.
I think so. I mean, probably, yeah. I don't really have anything to counter that. But there's definitely other artists I listen to more, but I think they're a 10-piece or something like that. You ever listen to Saturday in the Park?
No, I haven't.
It's the fucking best song ever.
I'm just thinking though, it doesn't seem like they have a super big presence within mainstream fame. I'm sure they did when they were in their thing, but they haven't really lasted as long. I don't know, as other things, because I guess maybe it's just because Kiss had all these different deals that they did, and that's the whole joke that they got advertised and marketed to hell. So people remember them a little bit better. And something like Metallica, they still tour every now and again, so they're keeping fresh in the mind. But I don't know, it just feels like nobody talks about Chicago, but literally anytime you look it up, it's everybody thinks they're the greatest thing in the world. And it's what? Wait a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a lot of merchandise for them, because also here's the thing, right?
Yeah, merchandising for them too.
First, they're called Chicago, and were once called the Chicago Transit Authority. So anything labeled with that,
it kind of just goes to the city.
Yeah, right. But also, I just think maybe they didn't focus on marketing as much as being a band and music. And of course you could do both, but
sure,
it's just probably the way that went. And it's a pretty big band. I'll actually look up how many members are in that band, but it's a lot harder to sort of keep around with an original lineup type deal.
Sure,
with
yeah.
more people as opposed to a 4-piece Kiss, or I think a 5-piece Metallica.
That makes sense, yeah.
Or maybe maybe Metallica's a 4-piece too. Yeah, because James Hetfield plays guitar. Chicago band lineup. But yeah, we would play these songs in there's one in Rock Band that was really good, 25 or 6 to 4.
Yeah, that's the one that I've listened to a lot.
American rock band from Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, they're from Chicago?
You think? Bombay Bicycle Club is not from Bombay, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a name, you know.
Their timeline goes up to 2009 onwards. They swapped out one guy for drums and added a guy for percussion. Yada, yada, yada. People left in 2012. 2 lineup changes in January 2018. January 2022, someone left. Band members, okay. From 1967 to present, you got 3. 2012 to present, you got... Jesus Christ, this is such a hard question to ask than I thought.
I was going to say, does Wikipedia not just have, like, band members list, and then it just lists off their names?
First off, it is a 10-piece, at least right now. Okay. Second off, it has it listed, so currently it is 10-piece, right? But then there's also, like, former members and stuff like that, which would make it harder to get a count, because what if the number grew or shrunk?
Right.
But they're still around.
Huh. Neat.
But, you know, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Jeez.
Former members.
Okay, and that's all including former, or is that just the former?
That's just the former.
Oh, damn.
10 currently. With, 3 of them being original members. And they're all 3 from 1967. And then the most recent member after that is joined in 2012.
Wow. Damn.
So
somebody who literally would like have grown up listening to Chicago could have gotten in the band Chicago, like, yeah, as an adult, like probably someone whose like parents listened to Chicago could have gotten into Chicago.
Yeah,
that's wild.
But yeah, you got Robert Lamb, Lee Lonane, and James Pankow. That they do, you know, vocals and keyboards and guitars and a lot of the like lead stuff, bass. Pedals. Don't know what bass pedals are, but it's probably something like an organ. But yeah, so like you got like a couple of the main guys, but you know it changes over the years and stuff like that. It's not like you have the star power of like this is the 5-man or 4-man lineup of Metallica.
That's a cool amount of fame though, to literally be like not
your
only
favorite musician,
right? Not only recognized by your fans, but recognized by other people who are like also the greatest. Like Jimi Hendrix, a lot of people would say was the greatest on guitar, and then for him to turn around and look at somebody else playing guitar and be like, nah, he's the best. I can't even touch that dude. That's crazy.
Also, like MF Doom has a reputation of being like your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He ended up passing away in like 2020.
Really? Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
That's sad. Rest in peace, MF Doom.
Yep.
What did he die from?
It was very under wraps. It was like it was apparently it was a disease that he had for a while, and then the announcement was just like he passed away. He's been sick for a while. Stuff like that. The family's mourning. He was pretty. He kept his real identity somewhat, like, you know, hidden, kind of like Sia.
Yeah, makes sense. He always had that mask on. I remember in all the like images of him, the art.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, yeah, you should listen to some Chicago though.
I should listen to some more of it. I've only listened to like some of the hits just because as like the last, I guess, year or so, I've kind of been tuned into them, but haven't really sat down to try and explore.
Yeah. Saturday in the Park, amazing song, fantastic song. Can't name a lot of songs I'd like more than that one.
Ooh, there's something I wanted to look up too. So have you ever heard of the musician Billy Preston?
Heard of.
So he was a guy who was a black musician in like the Jim Crow era South.
Oh,
and
wow.
Right, it was very, very like rough for him to even like be able to get famous. But once he did, like people like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones like sought him out to be like, oh, we need to perform with you. Like they brought him on tour with them. And there's a documentary coming out soon. It just hit like film festivals not too long ago. That's The Way God Planned It. That's what it's called. It's the name of one of his songs. But definitely worth checking out because as I learned more about his music this year, he has some wild tunes, like super good 70s funk and like really good, like, I don't know what else you would call it because he's before guys like Rick James and who's that guy from Rocky 5?
Before Rick Ross.
He's definitely before Rick Ross. Who's that other guy from, he's in Rocky 5, or Rocky 4 rather, doing Apollo's intro. James Brown. He said he's got a lot of like that vocal talent that you would hear like in James Brown or in Rick James, but he's way before them. So it's almost like, or Billy Ocean too. Like you hear a lot of that same kind of like in his music. So it's almost like he was the inspiration for a lot of the greatest stars that came after him. Because unfortunately, he had a bit of problems, legal problems. I think it was domestic abuse. He ended up getting caught for. And if you're a black man back then, it's not even canceling. You're just done for. Like you get blackballed by the industry. No one's playing your songs on the radio. Like you just go away. Kind of deal. So he never really got the recognition like long term that he deserved.
Well, even if he did do it, my policy has always been if the artist is dead, you can listen to them with no qualms of cancellation or anything like that. So
well, plus it was the 70s and he probably did have like mental issues.
Also, you said okay, so like 70s Jim Crow.
It's when 70s was when he got like I believe arrested and all that. And so the Jim Crow era was when he first started getting famous and like on his come up. So I think that was like the 50s or something like that. 50s, 60s.
Was that really Jim Crow? I feel like
I thought so. It might.
I mean, it's the civil rights era. The civil rights.
Right. I read
like that, but
it was in the documentary like description that he like I don't know. Might have just been that he grew up in the Jim Crow era. It was something about that in the. The documentary description. I may have misquoted that.
So I swear to God, the Jim Crow was older than that, but it's been a while since I took U.S.
It lasted until around 1968. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. And then things happening. Okay. So yeah. And definitely overlap. Yeah,
right. It's just enough overlap to where he kind of got blackballed entirely. And there's a documentary coming out about it that'll hopefully shed a little more light on his personal life because he had drug problems as well as potentially mental problems, and back then they weren't exactly the best at medicating those or dealing with them in total. So who knows? He's obviously not the greatest person, someone who goes to jail for domestic abuse. Like I'm not going to defend them, but perhaps there was just nobody deals with fame the right way sort of deal, kind of explanation for it all.
Yeah, well, he's dead at this point, so you can listen to the music.
Is he?
I
actually don't think he is. He might still be alive. Billy Preston. No, okay, he died in 06. We're good.
I was like, if he's alive, I'm canceling every one of you motherfuckers, starting with you.
He's dead. We're good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll look into him. Sounds good.
Yeah, he's got some really good music. I forget what that instrument is called. The main bad guy in season 1 of Luke Cage plays it, Cottonmouth. It's like a piano, but it's got those like almost theremin type wires on top, and it makes that like real soulful kind of organ music. They just say he played the organ, but it was like a real particular type of one that he was like a master of and just made some crazy sounds with.
Yeah, well, electronic instruments, they all got their features and quirks and stuff like that.
Right. Especially the very beginning of electronic instruments back in the 60s and 70s.
Well, since we seem to be on a talking about music kick, I was listening to some Christmas music this past week because this past week was Christmas.
Yeah, Merry belated Christmas.
Thank you. You too.
I think our last episode came out on Christmas, and we didn't wish anybody Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I was also thinking we need to get a bit more. We should plan. This episode is going to be coming out near this holiday. We could shout out Jesus or something.
Shout out Jesus! Happy birthday, dog!
Yeah.
Shout out Earth, year 2024, 2024 years old.
Yep. Before then, no Earth.
Ain't no Earth.
Yeah, I've been listening to Christmas music, and I don't really think there's a lot of like modern like Christmas music. There's like covers of Christmas music, from many years ago.
Right.
I heard 3 renditions of Last Christmas I Gave You My Heart by Wham this holiday season, which is fine. It's one of the best ones.
I was gonna say it's one of like the last written ones too. It's pretty in like the 80s. I want to say they came out.
It feels 80s to me.
Yeah, so it's like that's probably one of the newest ones as opposed to like Silent Night and stuff.
I listened to stuff off of the Grinch album by Tyler, the Creator.
Oh, okay.
He did a album for the Grinch movie by Illumination or DreamWorks. I think it was Illumination.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it goes kind of hard.
Was that 21 Pilots Christmas song on there? It's pretty good.
I did not hear that, no.
Christmas Saves the Year. It's pretty good. They released it on the COVID Christmas year. So it was extra, kind of has a special place for me because it came out, like literally dropped it on Christmas.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I just put on Last Christmas I Gave You My Heart by Wham, and then I did the radio option on Spotify. There's a Sabrina Carpenter Christmas song. Something about big snowballs and having your stockings look better on the floor. So, I mean, happy for you. I don't think it's going to be a mainstay.
I don't know. Santa Baby is. It's literally just about banging Santa.
There's definitely songs about seduction, right?
Oh, yeah.
Santa Baby, Baby It's Cold Outside, stuff like that. But they kind of don't go any further than the flirting stage in the content of those songs, right?
Sure, you could argue, yeah.
But, once the stockings are on the floor, I think that's a stage, the next stage.
We've gone a step too far.
Well, I mean, I don't mind it, right? I think it's a fine song. I just don't think that it's going to be a part of the Christmas canon, and we're going to listen to it 20 years from now in the throwbacks.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I'm just wondering, when are we going to get another Christmas song that sticks around,
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things, not really. I think we talked about it before. We were going over MIDI and all that, but it's just how many songs are there, sort of deal. Where how many different things fit the Christmas vibe. Where you talk about all right, all the different sounds that could be possibly made, then the very small sliver that are the ones that sound good. There's probably an even smaller sliver that are ones that sound good within the Christmas tone.
Well, I mean, it's just a normal song with sleigh bells added to it, but. After we mentioned the Wham thing, I'm thinking.
You telling me Fandango's a Christmas song because it's got sleigh bells in the chorus?
If it has sleigh bells, yes. Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You." That was the 90s, right?
All I Want for Christmas Is You. I thought was an old song that she just covered.
I swear it's her, right? If it's the cover, that's crazy. It has to be.
I thought that came out recently, within the last 10 years. Is You original?
No, it's a.
Oh no, I guess it is. Yeah, an original song by Mariah Carey.
In the 90s or the 2000s?
1994. It's saying.
Okay, yeah. So.
Well, 2009 is the official video. So hold on.
Yeah, she released a video later. I mean, Wham released a lyric video for their Christmas song this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hell
it's
yeah.
It's a lyric video, and they have little animatics going on. I didn't watch it, but
Neat.
I saw the thumbnail of cartoon band members.
Yeah, written, released, recorded in 94, and then I suppose, I had the music video in 2009. Crazy. Just stayed around for that long.
Yeah, she has other Christmas songs off that album, too, that collection. I think that's probably the most recent one, and that's 30 years ago.
Yeah, still, that's a long time. It's before we were born.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Christmas music, we sort of let it go in such a way that it kind of, the genre is a little bit defined by nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
It's defined by the fact that we aren't making it as much anymore.
Sure,
or we're covering it, the Sinatra types, the Michael Bublé's.
Right. Michael Bublé probably had some Christmas songs that were...
But any new ones?
Yeah, no, that's probably true. Yeah, no. And maybe Barry White wrote some, but that would have been before the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Yeah, I guess that there's something to it of just you're right, that nostalgia of the songs are just a little bit better because they're older. You harken back to a Christmas time because every Christmas you kind of, even though you're anticipating the day of it, you're kind of anticipating the memories, right? Mm-hmm. Christmas is past. It's always you're thinking in the past. It's kind of a holiday that exists in the past even while it's going on. It's kind of strange that way.
But yeah, what if there were new Christmas songs that made you feel more the Christmas wasn't as much in the past, even though it'd still always be there. But something that gets you, it's fresh and exciting.
Christmas saves the year by 21 Pilots. It literally is especially released in the COVID year. It says it's about this year was crazy. Nobody really knows what's going to happen, but let's just get together and hope Christmas is, up from here.
Yeah,
and it's a really uplifting message and a really nice song.
I can respect it, but due to the situation of that year, people weren't the Christmas wasn't normal.
Yeah, and that does still harken back to the past because it literally is to that one specific time period.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm curious. I feel like there's maybe a bit of a vacuum going on, and there's gonna, it's been 30 years since the last big Christmas song.
Mm-hmm.
Something's gonna hit again. And is gonna is going to take over. And I don't know if it's even going to be like newer sounds. You know, what if it's still like older sounds, but it's a new song? So who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see where Christmas music ends up going. Yeah. It's got, it's one of those things where I feel like people just probably don't want new Christmas songs. Like, who's asking for new Christmas songs besides you? I guess like everybody's kind of.
Even then, I'm not really asking for it. I just sort of like, and I'm not asking for it in like I want it way. I'm more like in a I kind of want to see that. You know,
right?
You know, yeah, just see it.
What about a Halloween song? There hasn't been any like good Halloween songs ever since like the "This Is Halloween" or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Before that, there's the Monster Mash.
Ooh, Monster Mash.
But I don't think like I mean Christmas is like the biggest holiday in the country, right?
Probably
like,
a holiday in the world, I bet.
Yeah. Halloween. Like I also think Halloween's probably a bit easier to make music for. Because you can just make like something creepy.
Yeah, you just got to make it spooky. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Put on Joker makeup and then do a normal song and there you go.
I'm the Joker, baby.
Yeah.
I watched a streamer that has a viewer reward that you can make an AI Joker, like say whatever you want, and after or ask it a question, it'll respond to it. And every single response it ends with, "Oh yeah, I'm the Joker, baby," but like actually done in Heath Ledger's voice, so it's funny.
That's the Joker's famous tagline.
I'm the Joker,
that he
baby.
says at the end of every single sentence.
Yeah, he says, "Oh, boss told me that I forget what the line is at the beginning. Boss told me no one's getting out. I'm the Joker, baby." Boom, shoots the guy.
Classic.
Takes the mask off, looks right at the camera. Hey.
Well, this mentioning the Joker and you know comics and stuff, I guess, would be an extension of that. I'm interested in the cast of Marvel Rivals, which came out in the past couple months, officially, because they really got some new faces, and it's cool to see like that DC is actually. No, Marvel. Whoopsie. That's pretty easy.
The opposite, yeah.
Yeah. Marvel's still making like new heroes, like contemporary heroes, and it's cool. One of the main supports, like I played the like play test.
Right, the
like,
beta of it or whatever.
Yeah. Which had a limited roster, but it did have Luna Snow. Luna Snow is a hero from the past decade, created for a different Marvel game that ended up getting her own comics. And she's a K-pop star.
Huh.
She was a K-pop star, and then they were playing at Stark Arena, and then some bad guys showed up and like threw her into this like cold fusion reactor thing, and now she has ice powers.
Whoa. Why'd they throw the K-pop star into a cold fusion reactor?
They were like threatening all their lives or something like that, and like she jumped to like, you know, protect her friends or something like that. So probably the heroism... Cold Fusion has a soul that cares about that and bestowed her with powers.
Sure.
But yeah, so now she has ice powers. And it's funny that her like ultimate in the game, she says, "Let's put on a show," and then like just starts dancing. And it's like a AoE heal
or
damage boost.
Hell yeah.
So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's cool that like it sort of makes sense in a modern world, right? Like this isn't like a modernized version of an old hero. This is something new,
right?
And so I respect it.
Do you get Hulk in Marvel Rivals?
Yeah,
good.
If you've played or you've played some Overwatch, you know how Diva has the whole thing where like she has the mech, and if you kill her, she just pops out of the mech and can get it back.
Right.
Hulk is like that.
So you can go angry and go Hulk mode.
He's normally like Hulk, right? And I think if you kill him, he'll like revert back to Bruce with a pistol. And he can earn his Hulk form back, and then like his ultimate is like super ultra Hulk form.
Nice.
And he does literally the thing from Avengers where he'll grab you, like the thing that he did to Loki.
And slam you back and forth.
They animated it to be the same exact like sequence.
Hell yeah.
So lots of clips of him using that on another character that I wanted to talk about, Jeff the Land Shark.
Jeff the Land Shark?
Yep.
It's just a shark on land?
It's like a dog shark hybrid, probably not genetically, but like it's the best way to describe what he is. He has 4 legs, he has a collar on, he has a shark face.
Yeah, right.
That's also supposedly, you know, within the past decade new character, Deadpool's friend.
I was
guess.
gonna say I've seen a Deadpool thing where he's talking to a little shark thing like, all right, Jeff, you stay here, and then he's
Yeah.
just back.
Yep. That's a fairly recent character that they included into the game.
That's awesome. I love Jeff.
Apparently, he's a fucking asshole in
Oh.
the game. I mean, like, obviously the character's fine, but like, he has like this AOE thing where he'll like go underground because he can swim in the ground.
Yeah, land shark makes sense.
Yeah, but his water comes out when he swims. It's weird. And he eats everybody in like a decently large area.
Oh.
And then teammates and enemies, and you can spit out. You have a button to spit out your teammates and a button to spit out your enemies. And so it's a support character that can gobble up your entire team and then just walk off the map and get a sextuple kill.
That's pretty sweet.
So it's cool that like it's. I'm always like a proponent of having like strong abilities in games, right? Mm-hmm. But it is a support hero, right? So I can see why people are pissed off and why there's so many clips of specifically the Hulk doing that thing.
Right, to slam them back and forth. I mean, like, as you can take up your own teammates and also just pull them out of a fight, like.
Well, it's everyone in the area.
Right,
So.
and you spit out your enemies like back one way, and then just bring your teammates back towards like other supports. So
Yeah, but if you can get a bunch of kills, like typically you're gonna go for that, right? Like if you're just choosing not to do it, that's sort of a throw, because it's available to you.
Does killing your teammates like do good for you though?
No, you save your teammates.
Oh.
You spit them out, and then you walk off the map.
Oh, I see. I thought you were just filling up everybody, then walking off because you're like, kill them all.
Get both teams, everybody.
Yeah, squad wipe.
We're not fighting
whole
anymore.
Team wipe. It's everybody versus Jeff. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I'm thinking about I never got a tactical nuke in Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, I don't think I ever did an actual online anyway. I did against like the bots, but just to see it.
I made it up to 24 kills, right? I was shooting out of my AC-130, and I was playing a free-for-all, and I had a buddy in that match. I was like, don't come up here. Do not come up here. And because it was on Rust, right? And I was at the very top.
Right.
And I shot to like get him to stop coming up, and then I actually killed myself, denying my own nuke.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah. Think about how much my life would be different.
If you had a tactical nuke in Modern Warfare 2.
Right. It was also kind of funny because like you're nuking yourself.
Yeah, no, it's literally your screen goes white and the game just ends. Like,
yeah.
You won, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really get to revel in the victory, but
Yeah, but it's like whoever wins is just the person who launches the nuke and kills their own people.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel. I mean, yeah, I get it. Like that's the rules of the game. You know, you hit the button, you win. But how nuking yourself is that caused you to win? You know, sure, cool, I guess.
yeah, it reminds me of one time I was in a game and just like party or game chatting with people, and they'll say the things whenever you get like the not care packages, the kill streaks, they get called in like, oh, friendly napalm strike inbound. One of the people on my team was just like, is there ever such a thing as a friendly napalm strike? Like, what are you gonna do against napalm? Be like, don't worry, I'm your friend. Don't burn the shit out of me. It's just funny, like in the game, like obviously friendly fire for those is turned off, so you don't have to worry about it. Like that's what it's letting you know. But just like the concept of like hearing that over an actual military radio, like, oh, friendly napalm strike. It's just like, oh shit, we gotta run.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's my guys dropping it. That napalm's not gonna care.
I guess the friendly part is that they're warning you.
Yeah.
And that's it.
They warn you about the enemy one too. They say enemy napalm strike inbound, so they warn you either way.
Yeah, but I guess you aren't, like, in real life, you aren't guaranteed to know that an enemy napalm strike is coming, but
True.
You should be guaranteed to know that a friendly one's coming, right? Like, they should tell you.
Yeah, I think that might have been, like, a thing in Vietnam. I haven't really looked into a whole lot of that, but there was a lot of, like, miscommunications and things, so there was quite a bit of friendly fire, I think. But
well, that's where we first used napalm, and napalm is fucking awful, so.
Yeah, really awful. It's, like, absolutely ruined, like, people's lives even today.
Mm-hmm.
Like the devastation it's caused, that and like the Agent Orange chemical stuff that we used.
Yeah, bad stuff. So we put it in a video game. And we're more acclimated to it. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's honestly like the fire and all those different things that are like, what's the other one? the toxic gas that's banned to be able to use in warfare. It's just funny, like when you use them in video games, like, oh man, we get to use the illegal weapons, and you use them like, they kind of suck. They're kind of not as good as these other weapons that we're using.
Well, I mean, you only really win if you kill someone right then instead of like, in a hospital.
Right, yeah.
16 hours later.
So it's just kind of funny when you literally like take that microcosm of like, oh, this super bad banned thing. It's like, oh yeah, it's really not that bad because we could just log off afterwards. We don't have to deal with the fallout, literally.
Yeah, good old violence in video games, desensitizing and all that jazz.
Disassociation. It's key.
Yep. Yeah. Nothing more on that topic. I felt like I had to segue into something, but I didn't.
There is... Did I talk to you about the idea of bridging the gap in video games on the podcast?
Bridging what gap?
Bridging the gap of what you want to do versus what the game lets you do.
So, I am interested in that, but we are on a bit of a timer today.
That's true. So we could end this one short, and then we can start the next one with that. And I'll actually have a good bit to say about it, because I could wrap it up quick, but I feel like I have a bit to say.
Well, here's a sneak peek for all you trash heads out there. Trash enjoyers.
Good old Doom and Sarge's Heroes. If you like that, tune in next week. Till then, peace out. Oh, wait, we got to do the whole send-off. Thanks for listening to this episode of Cold Hard Trash, CRT episode 30. If you like it, tell somebody about it. If you didn't like it, tell somebody about it anyway, because fuck you.
30 or 31?
I thought I said 31, didn't I?
You said 30 right there.
Oh, 31. ADR that back in. Anyway, bye.
Thanks.